You know what really grinds my gears?
What's that, Josh?
So every person we have on this show is a better player than us.
Speak for yourself.
I find that to be often incredibly frustrating. Hello, everyone.
Especially when the tenor drummer came in and blew us away.
Yeah, blew us away. My name is Josh. Welcome to the Chanarant Podcast. If you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that this is an explicit bagpiping-related show of bagpiping things. And you have 5 seconds to listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dalton! Fuck indeed.
Fuck indeed, sir.
Episode title, Fuck Indeed. We've already fixed it. We're done. Stop the recording. 2-minute episode. Guys. We're out of here. Listeners can review the show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, etc. Take a picture of your review, screenshot it, send it to us. We'll send you a sticker. You can send us emails and voicemails to be played on air. We have a couple of those today. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat, or if you like bearded guys jerking off in Batman masks, Fusco's OnlyFans. Which I still think would be a decent alternative revenue stream for us.
I'm looking for any revenue stream, so I'm open to ideas.
I'm about to say, you finally took a vacation, so you need all the revenue streams.
I know.
You need to cross the revenue streams.
All that money I made all last year just went up in smoke.
Yeah, especially in Tahoe. That's an expensive fucking place.
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
Check out the Chanarant store at chanarant.com. And this episode is brought to you by our patrons at patreon.com/Chanarant. You can sign up and support the show for $5 a month. Fusco. Last but not least, invite and share with your friends.
Did you know I actually have a subscription to the Chanarant? I pay my $5 a month as well.
Do you really?
It's like jerking off in a mirror. I just like to jerk myself off.
I was about to say, you also listen to the episodes as well, right? You like to hear yourself?
90% of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like listening to the blackout ones because I don't know who's going to show up to those. But other than that, yes.
You don't know which of your
many personalities. Is it Rapey Foucault? Is it Huggy Foucault?
I
don't know.
Is it Rapey Foucault? Is it Rapey Foucault?
Which Rapey Foucault?
Is it Rapey Foucault or curveball Rapey Foucault? Would you like to introduce our illustrious guest?
I would. He is a very old friend of mine from way back in the day, 2016, I believe.
Which was about, if my calculations are correct, 2016 was about 22 years ago.
It sure feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But every time I think about that, I'm like, man, that wasn't that long ago that we were all in Virginia together, and that's where I met Dalton. We were two alpha males in this group of betas. You've hung out with Joe Brady. You know what it's like, Josh. And it was like we're looking at each other. We're two bearded gods, and we're like looking at each other across the room, like, I'm gonna have to take him down.
Yeah, there's a lot of stork-like people in that circle. There's a lot of guys in that circle that I'm like, man, have you never eaten an egg?
There definitely was. And then Olivia showed up, and we're like, oh, fuck, she's the alpha male for sure.
100%.
Right, Dalton? Yeah. So, I met Dalton at the Virginia Tattoo when I became part of that wake thing that they did.
Oh, you talking about Allie's better half?
Allie's better half.
Oh, yeah, no, she's in charge as soon as she gets there.
That was the year I met her as well. She was there as well with Wake. And we had a great time. We drank lots and lots and played lots and lots, and we just had a great time. And Dalton's an awesome dude. And at the time, he was just a piper, but now
so much more.
He's a pipe major. Of which band? You guys got 7 bands over there. Is it the grade 4, grade 3? The whole thing?
6.5.
You guys have 7 pipe majors for 4 bands. I don't understand it.
Yeah, we've got. It's kind of like it's one of the main things service band quality that we have. Everybody has stripes
right
on their shoulders. No,
you got to give it out, or those guys won't do nothing.
No, we have in the whole program. I have been the pipe major for going on 5 years, not quite 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been the pipe major of the grade 4 since we resurrected that about 2 years ago.
Cool.
So I also play in our grade 3 when I somehow have just a little bit more time. But yeah.
Now, when you used the Necronomicon to resurrect your grade 4, did Trevor Takahashi mail that to you directly, or did you have to drive across the country to get it from him?
It's kind of weird. It just showed up one day. Like no one knows where it came from.
It showed up where it was needed.
It's been great for all of our evil plots. So thank you for that.
Clavo Nicto Necktie.
Yeah, man. So how's it been going out there in North Carolina lately?
It's well, I actually, since you mentioned the tattoo, there's one thing that I want to, maybe this will kick off for anybody that doesn't know who I am, which is probably most people. Mm-hmm. And that's by design. But the tattoo, it was funny that I had just joined Wake not even a year ago, or a year before that event. And it was just one of those things where the job I was working, I had the availability. And when Joe was like, do you want to go to the tattoo? I was like, hell yeah, of course. But the timing of that worked out with Olivia, who was a great friend of mine, still is, and she went to the same school as me.
Do you want to name
and
that school?
It's called the School of Hard Knocks, Fusco.
Same college he's referring to.
You're bringing up another thought that we need to address too.
Yeah, we'll go down that road.
But no, it's it was one of those things where Joe was talking to Olivia, and he asked me, he was like, do you want to see if she wants to come to the tattoo with us? Not being a band member, like, does she want to jump in?
Right. And she was living in Oregon at the time.
She was living in Oregon, but she was going to school in North Carolina. Right. So it kind of worked out for like all of that driving and everything. And it's cool because that's where she ended up meeting Allie, and they actually started their relationship. Mm-hmm. And so that was the beginning of my career of claiming credit for things that Joe Brady does. So just
it's been an illustrious career thus far.
Yes.
I'm riding high for sure. So yeah, but that was the beginning of that.
This is a random sidebar, but what's the sound guy's name from Inverary? That he was there at the tattoo.
Kevin James.
Rory, right? Rory something.
Rory Grossart. Yeah, he was. He had just joined the band. He had just joined Inverary at that point, and I think he was like kind of on the up and up, trying to just get the last bit of repertoire down in his hands.
Right.
So he was super cool. I met him there.
That's not my really question. Cool my true question is a Chanarant question. How sure were you that Rory and Olivia were banging during that period of time?
Not.
I mean, they were like best of buds. I was like, something's going on there. And then it turns out she's with Allie, but who knew, you know?
That's such a weird like quality to like the international level of pipe bands, is that you'll roll up into like the backwoods of Virginia, and suddenly people from across the entire world are like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in a couple of years, but yeah, it's been a good time. Let's do it again. So it's really, really weird.
That was a brilliant deflection, my friend. I love it.
You're welcome.
But yeah, man. So there's so many things that Joe Brady has done that he takes credit for, at least anyway.
I just assume at this point everything is Joe Brady.
I do too. It just always is. But yeah. So anyway, that's how we met. That's how I met Dalton. Anyway, and so you were at Wake. You said you were with Wake a year before that happened, but you've been pipe major for 5 years. You came in as pipe major?
No, I guess I've been with the band over 5 years already, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I joined in 2015, and kind of the back half of the season, I got roped into it. Right. I was officially retired at that point,
as all
I got
pipe
brought
majors
back in.
I tried to get out. They keep dragging me back in.
And then I guess at some point along the track of that, Joe made me a pipe corporal, which is basically like translation of that is you're a decent piper, and I have a sliver of hope for you.
Translation of pipe corporal is you're the third guy that shows up to every gig.
Very
Correct.
True.
You're always there. You're pretty good. You don't have to worry about you
the first guy that shows up to every gig is typically the pipe major. The second guy that shows up to every gig is typically the pipe sergeant.
Exactly.
And then there's like that third asshole, and you're like, fuck it, let's give him a title.
Give him a title.
Yeah.
That'll make him happy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got no money for you, but I'll give you whatever title you want. You pick the title.
There was a time in the there was a time in the band that shall not be named where we had more people with titles than not. Like
than band members.
Yeah. Like we had more people who were like, you know, corporal, sergeant, fucking pipe ensign. I don't fucking know. But like we had more people that had like some kind of official position either on the board or within the musical hierarchy than we had like 2 people that were just piper.
Right, exactly. You know, you do, and Joe Brady has that. I modeled that after Joe Brady because he gives everybody a title and some stripes, and he makes everybody very, very happy.
See, I give everyone a title too. It's just they don't like being called cunt.
Exactly.
Or dipshit or asshole or fuckface.
Yeah, you got lots of titles for people.
I've got a very extensive hierarchy that I've applied to the band that shall not be named. Everything from pipe major down to twat waffle is included.
Oh shit. So Dalton, you when you came in as when they made you pipe corporal, who was pipe major at the time? Was that Joe Brady still in charge at the time?
Yes. Yeah, he was in charge of the general band, the overall like organization as pipe major, and he was also band manager at that point too. And then we had fractured out grade level specific competition groups that were kind of in their own designation, but they all fall under the main organization.
Sure. My point in that being that as soon as Joe realized you were a decent human being, decent player, and would show up to shit, he made you pipe major. He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I just want to worry about uniforms and looking pretty, and he had you worry about actually being pretty. Is that what happened?
I wouldn't comment on me being pretty, but I think that there's some really dangerous fans that are probably in the stream, so I don't want to be bringing that up or anything. But no, I think that the timing of it worked out where it was really driven from our contest side where we had multiple groups. We had a beginner class, we had our grade 3, and we had a grade 4.5. That was sort of like wavery. We had lost some members, we were gaining new members, and it was just a really hard time to try to hold everything together. And Joe was doing a great job of that. But it's honestly, when we had the discussion with the then drum sergeant of the band about how to move forward and what to do, it was basically this back and forth of how to designate each group and how to go about the long-term plan. And I know everybody's getting bored with me talking about this.
Yeah, we'll get to the dick jokes. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, it's difficult, right? Like it's difficult to kind of keep a grip on something that is potentially going south, or maintaining a pipe band, right? It's like holding a piece of shit in your hand. You don't want to squeeze too hard.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's a funny story. you know where this is going?
I do.
Okay.
You don't want to squeeze too hard because it will just smoosh through your fingers, and you don't want to give them too much room and keep your grip loose because it will just fall on the ground.
Correct. Let me tell you about one of my first piping lessons with Danny Packer, the old pipe major of the Las Vegas Pipe Band, or Desert Sky at the time when I moved here in 2000. So I had been playing for maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months when I found them when I moved here. And so one of the things that he described,
You've been playing for 4 months and you were already shit.
I was already shit. And that's why he used this analogy. Or is it a metaphor? I don't know which. But either way, he said, and I still use this to this day every once in a while.
I use it too.
To the right people. He says, you want to be holding your practice chanter like when you're first learning to play for somebody brand new, like you're holding a piece of poop. So you don't really want to be holding that piece of poop, so you're going to hold it as lightly as you possibly can. But you still got to hold on to it because you got to do something with it. So that's how he described it to me. I'm like, okay, so like I need to be that relaxed. Like I barely want to touch this thing. And I still use that analogy to this day.
And I mean, all of piping can be distilled into the idea of holding a turd.
Especially when it comes to Waken District and Joe Brady.
Full circle.
But anyway, let's get back to this in a bit. Should we go through?
Yeah. So we got some things we got to get through. Some news and update. It used to be updates, but apparently I hit backspace when I wasn't looking.
Yeah, that's fair. That's close. Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
We're lucky this thing's working.
It's Arabic for update. So everything's canceled. Right, like I've been following with just childlike enthusiasm. The RSPBA announcements that everyone already knew were going to come out because they're about as useful as a shit flavored lollipop. Like that.
We always keep coming back to poop, don't we?
Yeah, we always do. Okay, I'll use a different metaphor then, or a simile. They are akin to a lighthouse in the middle of a desert.
That works.
Very bright, but not much fucking use to anybody.
Are we talking about Wispaba?
No, we're talking about Rispaba.
Oh.
But yeah, so they're finally starting to announce that most of the things they said were going to happen in the summer aren't going to fucking happen. To the surprise of no one across the internet. Fusco, give me a hot take on the likelihood of a 2021 Worlds.
2021.
This year. Because it's typically in August.
Okay, so I would say the chances of that happening are about as likely as me putting my penis in the butthole of somebody named Dalton Marshall within the next 24 hours.
I was about to say, within the next 60 seconds.
It's never going to happen. Not in a million years. And I love, have you been following the pipe band headquarters or whatever?
Oh, dude, they are having a
headquarters?
field day.
Now, it was interesting because they kind of went after Rab a little bit in the last week or two, which I thought was interesting because I know Rab knows who they are. Or it's Rab's team. I don't know. It's probably Aaron. But
I'm assuming Aaron.
It's got to be Aaron. But like the smart assery that is going on with the RSPBA headquarters, which is great. Which to be fair, I miss Evil Bob Whirl. That should have never went away. But
yeah, Evil Bob Whirl was possibly, and it's probably the same people.
I think it is. It's got to be.
And that was possibly the greatest satire piping Twitter.
It's fantastic.
Because headquarters, while I love it, they've kind of fallen into a rut of everything's a hot tub joke, and the hot tub jokes are funny, but
not every time.
Everything can't be a hot tub joke.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, everything can't be a service band. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, there goes our career.
Yeah, we're trying. Fusco, we're played out.
Damn it. Oh, well.
Well, we had 154 episodes. We'll call it a day.
Dalton, thanks for ruining everything.
Yeah,
now we're fucked, man. You ruined the channel. We quit. Fuck you.
That's my MO. You're welcome. Thank God.
But seriously, the RSPA headquarters, like, get a new joke, man. Like, it could be Rob MacLellan because he's the other one that keeps hammering the same fucking thing over and over again.
Yeah, but I don't know that he has enough internet service in his area.
Not in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, or wherever the fuck he is. But
yeah, I mean, I just think it's crazy, right? And like, here's a hot take. It's fucking February for a little bit longer. I really don't want to have to like consume 5 more months of will it, won't it on the internet. Like, guys, it's not going to fucking happen. So everyone just...
I think everybody knows that, though.
Everyone just swallow that pill and let's talk about something else.
I think everybody knows that. We
talk about.
Like, all the players know that. Like, nobody's practicing. Nobody's playing.
We'll launch a series where it's Big Rab reacts to Bridgerton sex scenes. I don't know. Like,
like it's not happening. Yeah. So like, okay, like, but it also rings to me of a non-news story. Like, it's just like news, any news channel now. It's like, it's all to do about nothing. We know it's not. Everybody knows it's not happening. Yeah, the fact that they're going to announce it or not, who gives a fuck?
It's gonna be 5 months of every week people announcing that shit's not happening. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
2022, maybe. Let's talk about that. 2021, nothing's happening.
Yeah,
it's over. Just fucking
just tuck your tail.
Like, although I have been told that like some weird ass middle of the nowhere contest in April
and pay your dues.
Well, there's that. I do like that part of it.
Yeah, everyone's like, it's like, we're definitely not going to do anything. Pay your dues.
Right.
It's like, wait, what?
That part's funny.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. We talked about launching your OnlyFans channel, right?
Oh, yes.
So we should apply the RSPBA model of business to your OnlyFans channel, where people pay every month or they pay annually, and you still don't post anything where you're naked.
Dude, I would
just take the model of like, no, I definitely will if you keep giving me your money.
No, it's coming. Next person that sends in $5 or whatever. I don't know how OnlyFans works.
Maybe they're smarter than us all along, and they've come up with the perfect business model where people will continue to give you cash for you doing nothing.
Well, isn't that every OnlyFans ever? I mean, naked pictures. I mean, we can find those everywhere.
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, I would say that, you know.
I could Google Dalton Marshall right now and find naked pictures of this guy.
And if not, yeah.
One of his college whores has definitely posted pictures of him naked in the shower or some shit.
There's actually, if you Google my name, there's a semi-pro skateboarder in Florida that is just like out there crushing it, and that's what you'll find. You won't find me. So it works out really nice.
What's interesting is you type Dalton Marshall bagpipes, and still that guy comes up.
Yeah, that guy comes up first.
He's still better than me.
It's a selfie of him with the unipiper behind him.
Right.
Speaking of spring break and hard, Fusco, how was your vacation, bro?
I had a wonderful 3 days off. It was amazing.
Do you feel regenerated?
I did until about 11:30 this morning. 11.
Did you feel dehydrated?
Very dehydrated. There's a lot of semen ejaculated. But let me tell you. Let me just show you the funny side of this. Is I got back today and I had 2 hours of dojo work to do this morning. And within the first, not even before I started, I was like, oh fuck! All that relaxation I did and all the. Just like chill, man.
All the humping of the crack of the ass.
Well, not even that. Just the chilling out, man. Like within an hour, I'm like fucking back in like you're back in New York and you're just tense as shit. Like cancellations, people that don't know how to use computers, old people. Like, god damn it, here we go.
Here we go
the
again.
First 2 hours of me back to work, like, god damn it. I'm like so annoyed again.
Yeah, I find I typically have well, I mean, the last year's been weird, but like I used to have the opposite problem where by the last day of my vacation or the day before last day of my vacation, I was like a crackhead, like itching to get back to work.
There was a little bit of that. I was only gone for 3 days. A lot of it was driving, but I was like,
but you did get to see some of the prettiest parts of the state.
No, it's fantastic. I've never explored Nevada, and I love, especially, I have this thing about the Sierra Nevada mountains for whatever reason. I don't know why. Movies or TV.
Oh, they're pretty dope.
But, and I've always wanted to go up there, like Tahoe. The thing that I was surprised about was, and not surprised, I kind of knew it, but it's so touristy and it's so busy. Like, I was like, god damn, like, it's gorgeous. Like Tahoe is amazing. But it's like so loud.
Were you north side or south side?
South.
South? Okay.
Yeah. So it was amazing. I went to some cool places and saw some cool like scenery and stuff. That's really all I wanted to do. Is just, I wasn't like skiing or anything. I didn't have health insurance. I ain't going down that crazy.
No health insurance. I ain't going skiing.
I'm not gonna get a concussion or nonsense. But basically, I wanted to sit in a cabin and fucking stare at the wall and see some pretty shit because I like winter scenes, and it was beautiful. It was awesome. And it was really quiet. Like where I stayed in this cabin at night, it was like you could hear the wind, and it was like just quiet, right? But when we went, like, everything's a town. Like, I
was gonna say, if y'all don't change topics soon, I would have to make a really popular YouTube channel and then set up an apology video like immediately after this.
Oh, it's been done, man. That's already been done.
So
I thought that was the standard practice.
We went off on such a fucking tangent that I don't even know where we are. However, I do have some voicemails. Before I get into those voicemails, I want to tease kind of what my main topic idea is for this episode, which is I want to talk. So Dalton, what is for our audience? What is your official title now with the Southern branch of the Eastern United Pipe Band Association?
In the association?
Yes, sir.
I am just a member. I'm a band member and a solo member. That is it.
That is perfect because one of the things I'm absolutely intrigued by, My Real Housewives is the USWPA Southern Branch Facebook page or the group, not the page. Two different things. And we're going to talk later on in the episode about whether or not you derive as much sick joy from it as I do.
That's fair. That's totally fair. It might be a good time to bring up that my safe word is white horse.
White horse.
In case we need it.
My safe word is Voldemort.
Okay.
But before we get to that, we have two voicemails. The first one from our good friend, Mr. Big Rab.
Josh, Andy, you pair of feckin' legends. I have to say a massive, massive thank you. Your episode where you were shocking each other to within an inch of your own lives and squealing like wee pigs. You guys managed to raise a serious amount of money for quite an incredible charity, and I have to say a massive thank you from the organisers, and the charity themselves is just, gladly received. So I have to say, shout out to you guys for going through such pain, but also shout out to the 6 who donated time after time. It was simply brilliant. Thank you all so much. And also, on another note, you guys have been killing it on the podcast this last while and been really entertaining me this last while. So just keep up the great work, guys. Seriously, I'm nothing but a fan. And if anything, I'm kind of cringing thinking what the rest of the Up to the Line pod band, you know, that mess that we recorded that I have honestly no memory of? I dread to think what the rest of it sounds like. Jesus. Yeah, I think that's one for the patrons. Anyway, guys, keep up the good work. Seriously, I've been really enjoying the last run of episodes. It's been brilliant. # one of the 6. F you, Joe Brady.
I like how that's just become synonymous with our brand. The F you, Joe Brady.
It was the earliest hashtag we ever came up with, I believe.
So cheers, Rab. I know you're in the chat right now. Love you, buddy. Miss you just bunches and bunches. Wish we were having pints right now.
Dalton, do you have any opinion of Rab?
So I've seen Rab in person. I've never actually met him or talked to him, but I saw him from afar on the horizon when we were both at the Stone Mountain Highland Games.
Was he blocking
which
the
was
sun?
like the last contest.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't just another snare drummer with the physique of Winnie the Pooh?
There's plenty of them.
I was fairly certain because he was getting the hot takes. He had a microphone going and he was getting the hot takes from everybody.
I'm so glad that I have time. I have a lot of time probably before I get to hang out with my good friend Rab again, because it's going to take me so long to sell him on the idea I have where I just want him like in the black polo, bottomless Donald ducking it. And then I have my Sony camera can shoot like 120 frames per second. So I need like the Born Free and just like Rab just frolicking through a field of heather. Just like with a shirt, but naked from the waist down, and I'll blur it. Like no one's gonna see his cock, right? Like I'll blur it in post. Like we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm just like, man, it's gonna take me so many months. By the time I can afford to go visit him, I think that's when I'll be able to talk him into this. Because I just want that to be like the interlude instead of, because right now we have the new waiting room, right?
Right.
Where it's like the flickering neon thing. Mm-hmm. I want it to just be Rab frolicking like Olaf in the fucking like Olaf from Frozen in the goddamn heather, just Donald ducking it, just shirt only, no pants.
It's got to be a Chan Ranch shirt, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, Big Rab Polo. I don't care. Like I'll order it. I'll make it. I don't care.
I am down for this idea.
But I definitely need this interlude in our repertoire, especially for when we're like doing more complicated scene switching in the future.
I can't wait.
But cheers, Reb. Yeah, Dolly, did you see the shocking episode or the compilation video or any of that stuff?
So I saw the compilation video. I think I'm like 3 episodes behind right now.
So are we.
I figured. No, I have a good rotation at work. I spend a lot of time at work just driving by myself. So I listen to you guys mostly in the afternoon, and then I switch to Big Rab when I want to actually learn something about what's going on.
When you need actual news, you switch to Rabby?
Yeah, so it's a good balance right now. Got a good thing going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested. Like, I guarantee by episode 300, Rab's going to be doing dick jokes. Like, it's inevitable.
He's got to change eventually. He's got to know where the bread is buttered.
Yeah, it's inevitable that all fucking rails lead to the same station at this point.
His wife's going to be fed up. He's like, God damn it, I'm sick of this podcast shit where you spend all your time in the garage and make no money. He's like, well, if I had dick jokes, I could make some money.
The power of dick jokes. So we have another voicemail.
This is huge.
I can't believe
this
this
is
happened.
Huge.
I did not see this until today, even though it came in 4 days
Are you
ago.
kidding? I listened to it immediately.
You already listened to it?
Oh, yes. I'm like, holy shit.
So we had MLK on last week.
We did. And of course, this is why this happened.
And I shit you not, after a year of silence, apparently Fast Eddie
Could
reemerges.
be more than a year.
Like,
Fast Eddie is back.
for those of you who've been with the show for a while, Fast Eddie, we still have no fucking idea.
I have a theory.
You have a theory? Well, we had
tell you why
we had a theory that it was Angel too for a while.
I'll tell you why after.
Yeah. Okay, but so we got a voicemail from fucking Fast Eddie a year later. I don't even know when the last time it was.
It's been forever.
So here you go.
He went
I
radio silent.
haven't listened to this yet.
He was
so
like, I'm done. I don't know. You guys are getting too close. I'm done.
So I haven't listened to this yet. So I'll be reacting
It's
live.
Good. It's good.
Yes, sir. How you all doing at the Chan-Event? This is Fast Eddie from South Carolina. Up here visiting my family in Boston. Just want to give you guys an update on my health. I just got out of a 24-month coma. And how I fell into that coma is quite interesting. Watching one of those piping videos of Andrew Duddits of the Piper's Dodo. And it was so boring he put me to sleep. Damn near killed me. Luckily, I only slipped into a coma. And after about 24 months, one of my family members decided to put some headphones on me with some instructional videos, and then I heard the voice of an angel. It was that Matt Willis butt plugger character. He snapped me clean clear out of my coma. So I'm out of the coma now, and after several months of nightmares of Meatloaf Kelly chasing Fast Eddie around, I can't thank that butt plugger Willis enough. Yes, sirree, he saved my life. And I know, too, I can't watch Andrew Duddits videos anymore. Fast Eddie don't want nothing to do with that Andrew Duddits. Just too boring. Fast Eddie needs some excitement in his life. Yes, sirree. That's all, Fast Eddie signing out.
I am so happy right now.
This is the greatest thing. This is the greatest thing that's happened to us in at least a year. Is Fast Eddie coming back.
I'm just so glad that Fast Eddie is alive, wherever he is.
Do you think it was MLK that brought him back, or was it?
It must have been. It had to have been.
It's got to be. So,
Dude, yeah, I mean, he is the Joker to her Batman. Like,
every time she shows up, he comes in to ruin it.
like is Batman there to stop the? Is Batman there because the Joker, or is the Joker there because Batman? Right. We don't know, but Fast Eddie and Kelly, that's the fucking relationship.
It's the greatest thing. Dalton, do you remember Fast Eddie? Have you listened? Are you listening to us for a while or what?
I've been listening to y'all since episode 1, unfortunately. What's weird about that, it sounded like Fast Eddie, but it was at the pace of Honey Boo Boo, which is kind of confusing me.
It is.
Well, he did just come out of a coma.
Yes, you got to give him a little time.
Yeah, you got to give him a little bit of credit. That is fucking brilliant. I am just so excited.
So me, as the very smart detective I am, I have a very strong theory on this now. When did that voicemail come in?
It came in 4 days ago on the 23rd.
Tell me the date. 23rd. Look at this message I get. And don't say who it is yet.
I won't. Yeah, I'll just
go ahead and read it.
Motherfucker.
You should read below it too.
Oh yeah.
Like, what are the chances of the timing of this?
No, that's impossible.
Impossible.
Especially considering that's a person that we never hear from ever.
Correct. It's so rare that I hear from this person.
But how did we not? But that episode hasn't come out. How did we not see that person on the stream?
I think he knew about it, but I think this is what gave it away.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we advertised it.
Yeah.
He may not have listened to it, but that's neither here nor there. He never
That's
talked
interesting.
about it. He only talked about this.
I think you okay, yeah. I mean, you've reaffirmed.
What are the chances? I mean, he sent this to me on Monday. This voicemail came in on Tuesday, right? And it about Douglas. What are the chances? I still can't hear it in the voice, but
Dude, I'll tell you what. I hear hooves. I think horses,
right.
but it could be a zebra.
Could be a zebra. Could be a trick. What are the fucking chances? Do we out this guy? Do we just
No, not yet.
We need more proof.
Yeah, and if us not outing means I get more voicemails from Fast Eddie, then
I'm okay with
we'll
that.
happily do that. That's a price I'm willing to pay.
I have not told this person that I have suspicions, but it is pretty. The timing couldn't be any more coincidental.
It's pretty sus. It's pretty sus. All right, so we're gonna take a quick little break. I'm gonna reload my beer, and then we're gonna be back with Dolly, who I keep calling him by a nickname that he never approved.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard this nickname in my life, but okay.
I've got so many nicknames. It's fine. Just add it to the pile.
But yeah, so we'll be back. We're going to fire up the waiting room here for a bit, and we'll see y'all in just a couple minutes. This episode of the Chanarant Podcast is brought to you by MacLellan Bagpipes, proudly made in North America by artesian bagpipe maker Roddy MacLellan from Eust, Scotland. At MacLellan Bagpipes, they don't strive to be the biggest, fastest, or the cheapest. They do, however, meticulously craft a small number of the best-sounding and most beautiful-looking bagpipes in the world since their beginning in 1988. Over the years, MacLellan Bagpipes has established a solid reputation for rich, warm, and stable tone, created with incredible craftsmanship and instruments of heirloom quality and unparalleled beauty. Head to bespokebagpipes.com to learn more about their innovations like the new Elevation Chanter, which features a lower-pitched richness inspired by the classic top hand of older chanters and sustainable solutions like the Revelation Bagpipe, a Delrin instrument featuring bores lined with a cellulose polymer sleeve giving you the structural benefits of a Delrin instrument while maintaining a refined wood-like sound. Check out MacLellan Bagpipes' diverse line of instruments and learn more about their restoration work on vintage bagpipes by visiting their website at bespokebagpipes.com. MacLellan Bagpipes, born in Scotland, made in the USA. And we're back. Thank you for that message that I definitely edited in post from our sponsor, MacLellan Bagpipes.
We love MacLellan Bagpipes. They're the greatest thing.
I fucking love my MacLellan Bagpipes.
You better.
They're phenomenal. They sound so good. I have to be better at playing them in order to live up to how good they sound. And the way that I'm doing that, strangely enough, is with the Piper's Dojo. This episode of the Chanarant Broadcast brought to you by the Piper's Dojo. Get your 30-day premium test drive for only $1 at chanarant.com/suckless. And you too will suck less. I'm not going to tease any new content that is not going to take me 7 months to make, but there's new content.
All right, that's awesome. Wait, at Suckless?
No, but it is involving the Piper. Here's a teaser. It's involving the Piper's Dojo and Beer Boy Brad.
Oh, ooh.
So
Beer
stay tuned, kids. Although that's probably going to be on the Josh Plays Pipes channel. That's probably not going to be on the Chanarant channel. But
what's that going to do for you?
Work off.
Josh actually has
it's
to.
It's gonna work off my slave debt that I owe to MacLellan Bagpipes for sending me bagpipes.
The title of your channel, Josh Plays Pipes, requires you to actually play the pipes.
This is true.
Can't wait to see this happen.
Yeah. I figure there's no point in making a channel for everything that I play because I don't play enough things.
Except with yourself.
Well, yeah, and then my OnlyFans will be Josh Plays Skin Flute.
Wait now. Hey now.
I don't know, man. I think I'd be terrible. Dalton, I'm gonna throw this question to you first because you're the guest and I'm polite. Do you think you'd be good or bad at sucking dick?
On for money, like OnlyFans, or
just in general, like if you and you don't have to reveal anything that you're not comfortable revealing, but I'm assuming you've never taken a man in your mouth before.
That is correct, as far as I know.
So, do you think you'd be good at it?
I know Dalton, and I know that when he wants to be good at something, he will be good at it.
But there's got to be something that's said for experience, right?
Well,
like
sure.
do you think the first time you suck a cock that you'd be good at it?
Are you saying Dalton uses too much teeth?
No, I'm just saying that I think that. How do you know if you'd be good? Like Fusco. Well, he didn't answer because he was very uncomfortable. But
he just sits there. He doesn't.
But like same question, right? Like, do you think if you decide like, hey, I'm going to suck this guy off, do you think you'd be good at it? Because you've received a lot of oral sex.
That's true.
To a penis, but you haven't delivered it, so it's like. I don't think I'd be good. I think it would take me a few dicks to get to a point that would be passable.
I guess I've watched enough porn to know when I've seen a girl that knows what the fuck she's doing, and I would just model that. Like, it's just like bagpiping. Bagpiping and sucking dick is the same thing. You just find somebody on YouTube or whatever your favorite channel is, and just follow their model.
That's where you learn bagpipes, is YouTube, everyone. We've advocated that since episode 1. No.
No, I mean, holy moly.
So wait. Are you saying that the people who play in service bands that learned from YouTube are equivalent to a person who thought they could learn sucking dick from watching porn?
Yes.
It's attitude, right? Like that's honestly the most important factor in both of these topics.
I don't know that we've learned anything here today, but I feel like we have.
I agree. It's absolutely attitude. Like, how many times have you had that girl who's kind of like,
dude? I've watched a lot of videos on
it's not
like
good. You gotta commit, girl. Just go for it.
I've watched a lot of videos on engine replacement on early Broncos. That doesn't mean I think I could do it.
True, but like replacing an engine is different than putting a penis in your mouth. It's not that hard, people. Dalton told me.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Maybe we could circumvent the whole process. If I put a penis in my mouth, someone else might put the engine in for me.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is very true. Especially those rednecks.
I've just figured out all of commerce.
You could trade almost anything in sex. I guarantee.
You could trade anything for a blowjob.
Especially if it's good. Holy moly. As we discussed, as we figured out last week, if you grab me by the balls and fucking,
So Callum Beaumont recently launched an online piping school, and I didn't see a pay gate.
There's no pay gate. Just fucking sign up. He'll teach you how to do whatever you want.
I suppose a glory hole is its own pay gate in some ways.
So you got to trust what's happening on the other side. Takes at least a pay gate of trust.
So use the no. I'm just
Hold on, let's give a little background here.
Speaking of the equivalent of a gas station glory hole, the Uspa Southern branch is one of my favorite Facebook groups.
It is fantastic. So
it is so fun. And but I have a point of contention because I'm kind of pissed off, and I'm assuming it's Ian Easy who's like now the moderator or something.
I have no idea.
And
Don't look at me.
He keeps deleting my Desperate Housewives from the comments section of the Uspa Southern Branch page. Like, that is my trash TV, is the Uspa Southern Branch Facebook group comments page.
It is fantastic.
Because people lose their minds over nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Like, people
You think nobody cares about women's sports? Nobody cares about Uspa Southern.
Nobody cares about this. Yeah. Like,
so hold on. Let me just give a little background, just so people know. Dalton went to college at the St. Andrews School of Fuckery is that North Carolina?
It is barely in North Carolina. It's almost where Fast Eddie lives, but not quite.
And and that's where Olivia went as well, under the tutelage of Voldemort.
Yeah,
correct. So just so we know, we're
soon to be friend of the show. By the way,
yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on it. Because I can't wait for that episode. He is going to be a hoot.
This is going to be the greatest thing since the Shock episode.
It's going to be so good. And you know what? Not only do I think it'll be great for us, I think he's going to have fun.
I think so, dude. We're fun, right, Dalton? You're having a good time.
I think we're fun.
it's good to know that I'm just a filler episode. It's completely fine.
Well, they can't all be gold.
Yeah. This is definitely one. Let me save that. This is They Can't All Be Gold Part 2 is Dalton's episode.
Granted, isn't that the title we used? Like, we used the They Can't All Be Gold on a episode that we had with Cahill, and it was like the highest downloaded episode of
It was. It was. And I think it's because some random person shared it or something.
I think somebody just decided to dox us and be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, it was weird. It was wild.
The whole point of that episode was we were making jokes about how it's not that good of an episode.
This one really sucked. This was not good at all. Which happens. Every fourth episode is like shit.
And Cahill didn't even have all of the prestige of what is now the live stream and
None of that.
Dalton's Wes Anderson composition in his shot. Like,
I love it.
Notice he's wearing my shirt.
Where is Cahill?
That is a great
Do
question.
y'all even know?
We asked that question. very
yeah,
often.
the only time I see him is if I set fires in Arizona.
Yeah. He shows up sometimes when he's not on vacation.
It's the only reliable way to hang out with Cahill is go to Tempe and set something on fire.
Did you?
and he'll show up.
Were you a big fan of Cahill? People were surprising fans of Cahill as little as he was on the show. But people really enjoyed him.
He was like a special treat.
What did you think about him?
I think that I gotta walk a tightrope here. I think that the level of effort versus the payout was about it made me feel at home with dealing with associations and stuff because it kind of just brought the standard a little bit back down and slowed everything down and it just felt a little more old school. So
he does talk.
It was nice.
Slow, so
Oh yeah, I mean you talk that slow too if you had 7 pounds of dip in your mouth.
dick or dip?
Dip.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, if you fit 7 pounds of dick in your mouth, I am impressed.
Oh, have you? Oh my god, I could show you some porn.
Is that why you got kicked out of the petting zoo?
You ever watch the Tom Green movie?
But yeah, so and it's weird. I am. How do I even begin this? I am a member of so many Facebook groups that invited me because of random people I know that I have nothing to do with. Youth of a Southern Branch is a great example. I'm on that Facebook group. I have no idea when I got added. I live in fucking Nevada, but holy shit, is it just entertainment gold. There's one of the athletics, international athletics things on the West Coast. I'm in that, and it's a bunch of people who I see their posts, and I'm like, you scumbag motherfucker. like people who used to run my event and stuff like that. But yeah, it just blows my mind. The internet is like monkeys with bazookas. Still, I stand by this. Nobody.
Facebook the most.
Facebook more
the
than
most.
anything. Facebook more than anything. And I see the shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? So, real quick, what is your favorite bagpiping, Real Housewives of Bagpipes area of the internet?
God,
because everybody has one.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm a newer addition to the All of the Six group, and that has been just a steady cancerous exposure that is kind of it's leveled everything out again. I like the consistency of the content.
That is some of the most horrific things I've ever seen.
I remember when you joined, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I approved you. I'm like, oh boy, he doesn't know what he's in for here.
Nobody does. That is the definition of a beast that has gotten well beyond our control.
It's fascinating when newer people join and then they share a meme and it's so innocent compared to the shit we've seen if you've been there a while.
It's going to reach a point where y'all are going to have to mice and mend that thing and just take it out back.
Oh, absolutely.
We've had that conversation.
We've definitely had to do this from time to time.
We've had the conversation where we're like, all right, my fingers hovered over the button a few times.
Do I ban this person? What do we do here?
Or I'm like the best thing I could possibly do for everyone involved in this community is destroy this community. But then it's all just going to move over to the Discord, and I will never destroy the Discord because I love it too much.
It'll go to the dark web, and then we have no control at that point.
Then all of a sudden, there's people selling each other RPGs on 4chan in the Chanarant subreddit.
Right. We don't need that.
I had fucking DHS knocking on my door, like, oh fuck.
It was all innocent, officer. We were just trying to.
We were just trying
wanted to share memes. That's
we were
all.
just trying to make dick jokes. I swear. So you guys originally met when Fusco, in a truly cunty fashion, abandoned his band to certain failure in order to go to the Virginia military tattoo.
Correct.
Do you have any good stories of partying with the SCO there, Dalton?
Yeah, I have like two, and there would probably be more, but the moonshine that was there was a big part of the whole event, I think. So.
He had some too, so he doesn't remember all the classic stories. But,
but
I'm nervous now because I don't know these stories.
I'm on Fusco's side with leaving the band to go do that because like it might be the only one, but I'll go out on a limb because it was one of the coolest experiences, and I know that it's benefited y'all's band because it's benefited ours too in a lot of the same way.
Oh, and I said this when we talked about it on the show when we had Graham on. I would have done the exact same fucking thing, except for the fact that I was running the event that the band was at. Because I would have been like fucking out, like I'm going to Virginia, bitch. If I didn't have to run the games, I would have been like, do you have room for one more? Hello.
But we didn't even have it was probably the most rock star level piping that we've done because like we didn't even have time. I didn't even actually introduce myself to Fusco until like after the first whole day. Like we literally showed up, went to bed, got up at the first thing in the morning, and just started practicing for the event. And literally at like 10 p.m. that night, I was like, by the way, what's up? I'm Dalton. And it was like we were literally next to each other all day. We literally just didn't have time to even talk.
Yep, that's exactly true. I'm like, this guy's a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly.
but you're like the other younger guy. There's a lot of, Joe Brady types, a lot of gray hair guys in the band. And you and Olivia and Matt, there's a couple younger guys, but it was like it was immediately balls to the wall. Like, I don't have time to like hang out with these guys until we got to the hotel the next day.
Like when Olivia and Allie came for our concert, she fucking drank my ass under the table.
Oh, she's
I had to go home.
Amazing drinking champion.
Granted, I'd been awake for like 24 hours at that point, but
no, she could drink most people under the table. I think.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go sleep.
Yeah, but like the next day at the hotel, like after the first day of practice, Joe broke out the moonshine, and then we started. Everybody got to meet. Like I didn't even talk to Kenny Heiner probably till the third day, probably because he was in the drums. He was playing tenor, and I barely spoke to him. Like. It was so fast and furious the first 3 days of rehearsals or whatever it was. Yeah, it was crazy.
There was that, and then there was also the moonshine from the night before mixed with the powdered eggs from the hotel. It was just it was a wild ride for everybody. So
many a hotel room with spackled toilets.
Oh yeah. Well, we were sharing at the tattoo complex. We were sharing the bathroom with everybody. Like literally everybody. There were like 8 stalls for over 100 people for the week, and it was not good,
including
really
the Jordanian pipe band.
True.
Those fucking guys.
There's only one outcome when you eat everything with your hands. Right.
It was remarkable. Oh my god!
And it's called dysentery.
But I remember Fusco. I remember when it was like after the first rehearsal day, and Inverary was out on that plaza actually like tuning up and practicing for the weekend. Mm-hmm. And you and I were both just like out there in awe. Like, and it was like, I don't know if I'm shitting my pants because of the diet or because of the sound. But like, dang.
Right, exactly. It was definitely both.
The G1 reeds that they definitely don't use were resonated with the powdered eggs.
This might have been pre-G1. This is right on the edge of G1 being in existence, I think. But I can't remember.
There's a harmonic imbalance between the Chesney reeds that they were probably likely using and the powdered eggs.
Well, back then they probably were. Yeah, because this was right as G1 was becoming a thing, I think, roughly.
I think you're right, yeah.
And John Elliott was in the band. I remember talking to him while we were there. And he came... A credit to Josh, of course. He came up to me. He's like, he knew who I was, which was remarkable. He's like, because of the Las Vegas Pipe Band.
I was about to say, you were internet famous.
Yeah, by that point I was. And he came up to me and said something like, and we were standing. Remember, we're underneath the it was like an
The
arena scene.
disc.
And more so once you had a more recognizable look. Like once you decided to go with the beard, it was
really,
way easier.
And I had that at the time.
Yeah.
So, but we were underneath these stands. It was like an arena, and we're just sitting there, and Inveray's the line immediately next to us, and John's just standing right next to me. He's like, hey, I know you. You're blah, 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 blah. And we're just chatting. And I'm like, oh, shit, John Elliott knows me. I'm like, I know John fucking Elliott, right? It's just so fucking funny. And yeah, man, it was
So you're the guy that taped a bunch of $1 bills to yourself for a video.
correct. Just a bunch of stupid stuff. This was pre-Stewart coming to the concert. I think maybe that year, the year later.
Yeah, it
whatever
would have
it
been
was.
right before.
But anyway, yeah, that was a great time. Let's see, what do I remember about Dalton? Try to remember any funny stories about Dalton. He was relatively well behaved for a malcontent.
Which is, yeah, I mean, let's be real. Our friend group is mostly vagabonds and malcontents, so we're
Right.
often surprised when they're not actively fucking shit up.
Yeah, I mean, everybody drank a lot. It was like a big. I mean, one of the greatest times. I don't remember what day it was, day 3 or something, and it was right before the moonshine ran out. It lasted like 2 or 3 days at most. Joe brought so many like glass jars of this stuff, and it ran out within. But he shared it with Fife
Dude,
and Inveray.
he's just fucking lucky that he didn't get in an accident because that would have immolated him
Oh my
immediately.
god! Oh my god, dude! But we're all sitting in the lobby of the hotel. Inveray and Fife and us are all in the same hotel, and they're just jamming. They're like passing small pipes around, and everybody's getting hammered on this moonshine. And like Ross Miller's fucking just jamming shit. Like everybody, it was phenomenal, and it was the greatest time ever. We're just and Dalton and I are sitting in the corner with probably Kenny and like Joe Brady's. Like Joe Brady's doing the Joe Brady thing. Like you know how he's super like handshaky and like. You can't even describe Joe. He just is a force. But anyway,
I'm just very fortunate that I will never be famous because if I was, I would have to hire Joe Brady to be my manager because he's so good at
you
it.
need him. He's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and it was phenomenal.
So it's good. It's good that I will live in obscurity till I die.
He makes friends. He's a former cop, so he just doesn't give a fuck. And he just goes up to everybody and just talks like he doesn't care. It's great.
Granted, it didn't make it into the full video when we did the Chanarant Goes to Winter Storm, but I saved the clip just for my personal satisfaction of when I was carrying Joe Brady around.
Well, he is a little man, but
Because I was so excited. I was so happy to see him. And he hated it, but he didn't like punch me in the throat, which is one of the things I was considering was probably going to happen.
could have happened. He is a police officer. He probably could have taken you down.
Like I'm sitting there. I'm like he might knock me out. But I'm so excited to see this man. I have to express my love and gratitude.
It's the same way that you relate to a cat because he has a bunch of cats. That's how he learned how to act that way.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
Joe Brady is a cat.
it's like I wanna hold you, but you might claw my eyes out. I'm not
Episode title: Joe Brady is a cat. Done.
So, like, how cool is that, Dalton? Just the lobby of the hotel part was probably the greatest thing. There were so many cool things about it, but that was really awesome.
In terms of like cross-pollinating pipe bands, like that was the best sesh I think at this point in my pipe band career. And it wasn't even that there was like crazy circumstances. It was just the fact that we had all of these really cool people that were great musicians that had just all kind of mixed together.
Right.
And we were all there. We were all kind of on the same wavelength for that. So it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the fucking future, man. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of American events.
Why?
Because never heard a negative review of a non-American band traveling to an American event.
True, but it's still got to be worthwhile. So if
Like,
Americans
I
can
hear-
afford to pay for them, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, oh no, it's you still got to fucking be able to cover the costs. But I'm just like, every time someone talks about coming to like Stone Mountain or or VTAT or something like that, or even fucking back in the day, we used to have Canadian bands at fucking Vegas. Like they were just like, holy shit, this is the most fun I've ever had at one of these.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Because we know how to fucking work hard, play hard, dude.
it's just a little different than they're used to. Americans do it a little different for the foreigners. So maybe that's, I don't know, good, bad, whatever. But like, it's still got to be worthwhile. Like Inveray's not coming unless they're making a profit. Like they're not, like we did it. Like I would say the Waken District group that Joe put together, like we kind of did it for nothing. Right. I mean, Just
We
for
literally
the,
did it for the
crack.
sesh.
For the crack.
It was for the crack.
But Invery, there's no way they're coming for nothing.
Because it wasn't even like I wouldn't even count that up to exposure bucks. Like I think it was just for the sesh.
No, it was purely for the sesh. I don't know if Joe cared about exposure. Maybe he did. I don't know. But like he asked me, I'm like, dude, that sounds fantastic. Like I'm sure I came out of pocket for that. I don't remember because it was so long ago now, but I'm sure I did. Maybe he helped me pay my flight, but maybe not.
Based on how blacked out you were, I'm assuming you came out of pocket.
But well, I mean, in the end, in the long run, yes. But like it was worth it for the experience. Like I'm like,
100%.
okay, I'll do that. But like Invery's not doing that. Fife's not doing that. Like maybe some of the other,
That's also I'm interested, and we're getting close to the end of the episode here, but I'm actually interested in the idea of, do you think that potentially a fundamental difference between like overseas bands and like stateside bands for us, do you think that we come way more out of pocket for the sesh, or is everyone kind of in the bagpiping space doing that no matter what? Because I do notice, like, a lot of bands don't go as hard as American bands, dude.
I don't know about that. In what way?
Like, just fucking party hard, big dinners, fucking the whole nine. When you're doing it, you do it like it's a vacation.
Well, they do it every weekend though. We do it 4 times a year.
But that could also be why.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like at least on the West Coast, if you're further apart between games, you go once a month, maybe over the summer if you're lucky. So potentially, but where they do it every weekend, but it's all driving distance for the most part. I mean, not always, but for the most part. But like the Worlds, like those, Jesus Christ, those guys can party at the night of the Worlds, night after the Worlds.
People go like they are not going to be alive the next day.
Correct. Yeah. Like I'm like, holy shit. I don't know if I can keep up with these people. I don't know. I think it's circumstantial. I don't know. Depends on the situation.
I think geography has a lot to do with like how the attitude that people bring to the circle over here versus over there. I don't know. That's the biggest thing that I think about. Like we have members that are at almost weekly events back when we were doing that in person that were driving like an hour for a weekly practice each way. And I know that there's that elsewhere, but I feel like not at the level that we have. I mean, we have traveling players that drive like 8-hour drives one way to come practice with us, not to play an event, but just to run the tunes. So that's wild.
Yeah, it's definitely different for sure. Like I've done that in my life.
I can barely stand driving the 7 minutes down to listen to Bill play Green Hills. Sorry, gotta fuck with Billiam a bit.
But yeah, no, I mean I've done that. I've done the 5-hour drive to a band to play more interesting music for sure.
Well, because you used to do that with Zona. With the Phoenix band.
I've done it many times. Yeah. I've done it with Misty Isle. I did it
with
fucking band.
Yeah, with Seamus band. I forgot about the Seamus band.
I did it with Arizona. Like it's like
granted, the Coin band was a good fucking band.
They were much better than any other group I played with.
That was a really good band. They got snubbed in my opinion.
Yeah, but Seamus had a bad reputation at the time, so that was probably part of it. But we kind of enjoyed being the outlaws. We were kind of like the misfit toys a little bit. And everybody hated us.
Speaking of people we should get on that are more interested in Dalton, when does Seamus want to come on the show?
Can you imagine? Oh my God. Everybody knows Seamus. Everybody. Like he is remarkably known because he's so insane. But in a good way. You know what I mean?
So we're nearing kind of like the end of the audio recording of the podcast. I do want to get final thoughts in, and then we'll hang out probably for a bit with Dalton and the people that are in the chat. Because I don't get to see any of you nearly enough. And, I've been locked in my house for a year. So I need the social interaction. But let's start final thoughts with Fusco.
My final thought is I want to ask Dalton a question. My final thought is going to lead into his final thought, which is, what are your honest opinions of your experience at the St. Andrews College Pipe Band and the leader of that organization?
So the setup before that, like in high school, is really when I started playing in pipe bands pretty seriously. And I played at NC State Pipe Band, which is in Raleigh. Mm-hmm. And that is kind of the catalyst for me.
NC State, is that where Michael Jordan went?
No, he went to UNC.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Which is literally like 20
Across
minutes
the street.
west. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, that's where I kind of got started, and that's where like I got the first exposure to like good pipe band camaraderie. And I think that like getting the minor in piping and having the scholarship to do that in college was an awesome experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely a way better player because of it. And some of my closest friends were in that band with me. So it's kind of the same thing. Like you embrace the suck, and there's a lot of that like in any sort of band, especially if you're traveling. Sure. But it's just kind of part of it, and you enjoy it because of that. Sure. So I don't think, I put it this way, I don't think I would be in Wake if I hadn't gone to St. Andrews. Like, I don't know where I would be. It's kind of hard to speculate, but I don't think that the pathway would have led me to where I am now. So
that's cool. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a positive thing.
I guess you could say my final thought in relation to that is, even how do I want to say this? Even bad things can have a good outcome, right? And no judgment. Everybody's different. Depends on where you are in your life. And Voldemort, blah blah blah, whatever you think of that guy. But it still leads people to a positive place. There's a lot of good players that came out of that organization. They chose to go here, there, or wherever, and it's still ultimately good promotion for the art, regardless. You took it and went somewhere positive with it, and are leading a good organization, and hopefully leading them in a good way. I mean, we don't know. We didn't get too far into you as a leader.
Well, let's not go as far to say I'm leading. I'm the puppet dictator.
There you go. Yeah, we all know who's really in charge, but
it's the shadow government.
But in the end, like everybody's got their place, and whether you like fucking the Unipiper or whatever the fuck or not, which I fucking don't, on record officially, it leads people to a thing. The only issue I have is whether it leads them to ask you to do something stupid, which I won't do. But Josh,
wear a flaming helmet,
fucking
playing your pipes.
Yeah, like can you play? I don't know, Game of Thrones at my wedding? Like, no, I can't. I refuse.
I'd rather have just a stream of all of the 6 memes on my phone than have to listen to any of that stuff.
I also have to get Court to show you. She had a relative get married, and they had like a Chicago service band play, and they have like a video of them doing rakes of mallow in the most dog pound fashion known to man.
Like, that's not good for any of us.
No, I was like, just burn the phone. Like, I don't know what to,
like the argument at this point. The argument is, well, at least they had fun. They enjoyed it. Like, yeah, but nobody listening to it had fun.
Yeah, no.
That's way more people than these 8 people that fucked it up.
Nobody with ears had fun.
Nobody with ears had fun with this. Anyway, sorry, Josh. You have a final thought?
No, man. I'm excited. It's been a great fucking episode. I missed Dalton's face, and I was very sorry when we had to fucking reschedule him. And I'm glad we
7
got him.
times.
Yeah, it's like 7 times.
He's a very hard man to get a hold of, but look at how pretty he is. He's obviously got lots of women in his life, I imagine. He's very busy on the weekends.
I like the look that he's got going of like the tall dude from Queer Eye.
I call him Bagpipe Jesus. That's what I call him.
Bagpipe Jesus. I like it. But Dalton, I thoroughly enjoyed having you on. Have you on again soon. We are going to end the audio recording, and then we have some patrons we're going to hang out with in the chat.
People have questions for you.
Plenty of questions for you, and I'm going to go ahead and play us out.